I am not having that guy say I got to change my story. I turn, and I swim back, hit 3, and when I hit 3, at 2.5, everything in me wanted to come to, everything. I want to come to the surface. I want to come to the surface. But then the right voice came over and said, you're not coming to the surface, Woodward. Gary Bremer can pull you out of the pool later. I wonder how many strokes you can do after gulping some pool water. I hit 2. I just turned and pushed with my legs. Got to about 3, not quite 3.5, 3.25-ish. Came to the surface. Yeah! Then I made a big, fatal mistake. I turned to my opponent, my friend, who during the contest is no longer a friend, but after the contest, we'll be back friend. I'm just kidding. I said, I'm not changing the story. Big mistake. Oh, that was a big mistake. I mean, it's like one of those things as the words are coming out. I wish I would have had a rubber band attached to them. Pull them back. Because I did not want those words to hit him because they hit him. Because as soon as he heard him, he's like, He's walking around my pool doing one of these. There ain't no way I'm letting this guy named Orrin beat me. He hasn't run in 20 years. I am the Boston Marathon finisher. This guy's nothing. He gets in my pool. Now remember, this is the most amazing thing. I sent him an email after this because I was so impressed. I knew at this moment that I could never pay Bobby to run my office, the team office, what he's worth. Because do you understand how hard it must have been for him to repair his own belief system? After he's just gone 3, which is his personal record, personal best, to have somebody go almost 3.5, he's got to be thinking, how am I? I've done all this work, I've just done my personal best, and now I've got to go back. But he paced that pool, walked it in, got in the pool, and we went 2. And he got up, and now he is so I'm thinking, man, I think I got him. I wish I wouldn't have taunted him, but I think I got him. I don't know I think it'd be rude just to rush him out of the pool. I'll give him one more chance. He starts pacing. He starts talking. He says, you are getting in there. You are not wimping out anymore. And he gets in that pool, and he goes 1. And he comes back, and he goes 2. And he comes back, and he goes 3. And he turns, and he comes back, and he goes 3 3/4. And he comes up, and he's like, yes. But I noticed he didn't say anything to me. And I went over, and I shook his hand. I said, Bobby, you beat me today. You have 3 3/4. You have the record, and I'm extremely proud of you. And when he left, I sent him an email, and I said, Bobby, you've got the mentality of a diamond, because even when you were defeated, you were able to keep your belief system right and self-talk right to come back and have a victory. I said, I am so impressed. When I tell that story, I am so impressed. And I was also very upset. Now, Bobby went on vacation, which I thought was a serious benefit on my edge, because I figured the pool's mine. I can practice while he's on vacation. Now, I had to repair my own thinking. I said, I've never done more than 2 in my life until a week ago. Now, this guy just came down here and did 3 3/4. The benchmark, now somebody's going to have to go 4. I said, man, I tell you, I swam with everything I had, and when I got up at the 3 1/4 mark, when I got up, I had purple lips, and they said, man, you're reaching your limit. I said, how am I going to change my thinking on this? How can I beat this lung? And so when no one was in the pool, I started thinking. I said, okay, Orrin, you know, you've got strong legs. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out a technique. When you push off, you've got to breathe in as much as you can breathe in to the point of almost hyperventilating. Then you've got to push as hard as you can with your legs. And you got to push so hard that you got to go halfway where the net is. You got to go to the net on just the push before you even do a stroke. Then if you can do a full stroke, you ought to be able to do 4 strokes and hit the wall. Then you've got to turn, and you got to have the legs totally, don't just touch the wall and turn nonchalant. You got to touch the wall, turn, crouch up the legs, and push as hard as you can, because you got to get back to halfway before doing a stroke if you're going to get 4. So I practiced that for an hour, almost 2 hours, just practicing it. And I could go boom, down, boom, back. I was doing 2, no problem. I'm like, okay, I'm starting. All right, this is good. All right, yeah, I can't wait for Bobby to come back. Because I wasn't going to try 4 on my own. No one would have been there to vouch for it, so I didn't think it'd be a good thing, you know. But on the following Monday, Bob Dickey and Kevin and Sharon's Bob's daughter, they came over. Not Bob Dickey, Trey, he's still on vacation, but Pastor Dickey's over with his daughter and son-in-law. And I was telling him about this contest and just bragging about Bobby. 3 3/4, unbelievable the capacity for him to do that. And as I was talking about how great this guy was, I was starting to say, man, maybe I ought to just try it. So I just did a warm-up 1 and did 2. I'm like, that felt pretty good. And I was talking, and Pastor Dickey was talking with Kevin and Sharon. They had their feet in the pool, and I was talking with Jeremy Dickey, and I said, you know what, Jeremy, I'm going to go ahead and try it. So I got ready, and I just sat there, and I started hyperventilating. Okay, Orrin, remember, push hard with the legs. Straight line, no hypotenuse, dude. And off it was. Push. Hit that halfway mark. Stroke 1. Stroke 2. Stroke 3. Stroke 4. Turn. Squeeze. Press. To the halfway. Stroke 1. Stroke 2. Stroke 3. Stroke 4. Turn. Oh, come up there. Shut up. You're not coming up. Push. Halfway. Stroke 1. Stroke 2. Stroke 3. Stroke 4. Come up for air, for crying out loud. I need air. You have 1 left to go to one of the greatest victories in your life. Shut up. I cramped up against that wall, and I pushed as hard as I could. And I didn't quite make it halfway. Stroke 1. Stroke 2. Kick for everything you got. And I just saw that wall. I'm kicking and screaming. And I touched 4. And I got up 4 laps. 4 laps. Yes. And I made sure that I turned to Pastor Dickey and said, no one can guarantee these results will work for you. We hope, however, you have no idea how self-controlled it took me not to go and email Bob Dickey on vacation and tell him. But I held off for an hour at least before I went in and tell him. But the new, now you think the reason I told that story is to talk about how long I can stay underwater, and no, that wasn't it. Although that was pretty impressive. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. That's not it. Because I'll tell you this. I can promise you this. When Bob hears this tape, the benchmark's going to be 5 or 6 by that point, because he's going to go for, I know he will. So that's not the point. But here is the point. There are many people. In fact, there's every single person in the room that's thinking that you're a 2-lapper. And 4 laps is inside. And I came out here tonight to tell you, you're a 4-lapper. Go get it done. God bless you.